Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. I'm actually gonna backtrack briefly here, so that we can clear out this corrupted zone and then go ahead and get that vantage. No worries. I'm just clearing out a different corrupted zone and then picking up on a vantage that we previously missed. Went relatively well. Special Orders, Military Directive. All personnel currently assigned to Company E, 5th Battalion, 3rd Civilian Guard Brigade, Aurora Zone. Report to Verticarrier Bay Onyx at 0500 hours and board assigned vert. Departure at 0530 hours. Arrive in Beira, Mozambique at approximately 0000 hours local time. Lodging assignments and duty schedules to be received upon landing and intake. Assist FADM personnel and Mozambican civilian battalions in A. Construction of defensive obstacles along the Channel coast, and B. Ballistic perimeter shielding around the Aeroporto Internacional de Beira. Upon completion of the construction duties, participate in combat and base defense training operation in anticipation of enemy contact. As always, comport yourself so as to be a credit to your unit, your country, the goals of Operation Enduring Victory, and yourself. And no, we did not figure out who lived in the hotel. It seemed like it was just a bunch of randy old scrappers. Some naughty boys.
I can guess why there was advantage here.
Apakashet Stormator, Day 2. My father guest lectured here. A 300-level military history course on the age of human air power. Might as well have been teaching medieval siege tactics. I was 8 when he died.
Yeah, it's like a little glimpse at the past. Hi, Ma. You brought me here once to see Baba teach. I didn't know it at the time, but the class was like something out of the 20th century. He stood behind a lectern in a real space lecture hall, raising his unamplified voice to be heard by flesh and blood cadets seated in plastic chairs. This being 45 or 46, our air forces must have already been 60 to 70% automated, but the academy was still old school, literally. I suppose the quaintness of the setting fit the subject he was teaching, the age of human air power, 1909 to... The cadets probably thought the question marks were wishful thinking, or willful or ignorance. From their perspective, the era of the human pilot was already over. But not for Baba. I can still see the medals he kept in that drawer in the bedroom, the inscriptions in Sanskrit, "Touch the sky with glory," you said one meant. Even as a Commodore in the IAF, he kept flying. He still remembered what it was like to sit in a cockpit with his hand on the stick and his finger on the trigger. And that's how he died. June 5th, 2048. At the funeral, some Metallurgic International rep said we should be proud he died defending free markets. Even then, I knew that was a lie. He died defending M-Int's claim on a tantalum mine. That's what he died for. And why stop the truth-telling there? Really, he died because M-Int wasn't yet rich enough to afford a fully automated fleet, because it wasn't cost-effective to upgrade a military surplus Razor Wing with improved electronics warfare gear. He died because human combat pilots were just as obsolete as the crates they put them in, and just as expendable. When he spiraled into the jungle, our family crashed with him. For weeks you couldn't get out of bed, and then came the hospital, me staying with neighbors. Even after you recovered, even when you said all the right things and promised would be okay, I didn't believe it. Something had broken between us. I felt like an orphan, and nothing seemed to matter anymore, which is how I lived for the next 7 years, until it almost killed me. These things are good, but fuck if they aren't heavy. Yeah. Also sounds delicious. I had pizza. Just sort of a standard comboza. It was wonderful.
How
Little
much will the
spicy.
snow cover?
Chat. Don't be like that.
Sounds of fighting. Has something attacked the Carja fort? A corruptor.
Whoa. Oh, he smashed my rock. Oh, fuck. Bump up the death counter to 3. Oh, I was hit with corruption, so it was a damage over time kind of situation. Couldn't get at my potions fast enough.
whisking its ass down here.
Yeah.
Girl, approach!
I'll approach when I'm done looting.
Girl, come closer!
Yeah, these guys aren't the Nora, sadly.
So, will you open the gate for me now?
You heard her! Open the gates! And send word to Captain Balan! Where you headed, girl?
West! To Meridian!
The Way of Broken Stones is a hard run, even in the best of times. You might want to have a word with Captain Balan. He came from Meridian not long ago. You find him in the fort, on a balcony to the left overlooking the valley.
Okay, thanks.
We're the ones who should be thanking you for taking down those machines. Walk in light, Nora.
Alright, alright, okay.
Whoever's in charge here might know if Nukoa came through.
Nothing but trouble. That's all there is in Banuk lands.
I heard you talking about trouble in Banuk lands.
Was that out loud? Ears must be getting worn down from all those long leg blasts. But you heard right. I'm fresh back from the cut, looking for better scavenging and better shards.
I guess you didn't find them up there?
Not with the Banuk wailing about new machines and talking spirits and their purses frozen shut. What's a trade route without trade? It's just a route.
Longlegs are the fellows who look like ostriches. They will unleash like a supersonic explosion.
There's a trade route. I thought the Banuk kept to themselves.
We Oseram and the Banuk are neighbors, after all. What's a few mountain ranges between friends? I have some acquaintances out there, still trying to dig a living out of the ice, but they say nothing seems to stick. All the superstitious nonsense and rampaging machines aren't helping.
What were these new machines and spirits?
Honestly, I don't even know. Going by the number of Banuk funerals, I'd say the kind you turn away from.
Not really my style.
Well, if you reach my grand old age, you might prefer picking up after hunters in the Sundom. It's warmer, too.
True.
What is this place? The Cut?
When the Karja took up swords and hacked away at the edge of Banuk land, they left the Cut behind.
So a battleground from the war. Like the valley outside the Sacred Land.
Mm-hmm. Mountain Pass in the far north and east will get you there. It's open to outlanders, hardy ones, like you. Just don't expect much of a welcome. Especially not now.
New machines and talking spirits? I'm interested.
Thought as much, just looking at you. Don't say you weren't warned. There's a slip of a trail through the northeastern mountains, past what we call the Grave Horde. You won't miss it. You'll find what passes for a town on the other side. Maybe someone there can talk you out of it.
Maybe. Maybe not. Thanks for the information.
Humbo's got hairy shoulders. Got that. Got that dad bod.
Been here 3 times this week.
Come take a look.
Can't
I'll
find
give
what
you
I
a
want.
good
Sweet
price.
tattoos, too. What's this? A side quest.
Take a look at these wares.
Figure.
Captain Ballon, I have questions for you. First, about another Nora woman who might have come through here. And second, about the trail to Meridian. What can I expect on the way?
Well, it was definitely another Nora. No way I'd forget that. She called it an incident. As for what to expect on the trail, nothing good. More machines all the time. Scouts report corruption that way as well. So much for sealing things off. Keep to the roads.
Yeah.
They're safe enough. No, after what you did at the gate, I'll wager you don't scare easy.
Choked on my water a little bit.
I could put it to use, if you don't mind a quick jaunt back east. I know it's bold of me to ask a favor after you just did one, but I can offer you answers in return. If there's anything you need to know about the Sundom.
Well, I mean, I do have some questions about the Sundom, like, your king single?
What is this place exactly?
Day Tower marks the eastern edge of Carja territory. A trading post, a way station. One with an ugly reputation among your people. During the reign of the last Sun King, many Nora were taken captive, then gathered here for transport to Meridian, and sacrifice. But the sun set on that. I was appointed by the Sun King Avad to make sure old Carja at this outpost show respect to the Nora.
Where do things stand between your tribe and the Nora now?
Sun King Avad wants peace. So do the matriarchs, I'm told. But old wounds are slow to mend, and both tribes are proud. My task is to make sure there are no further provocations from the Sundom. Especially now after... well, while your people recover from this terrible attack, I mean.
What's Meridian like?
It's a changed place. A living city. Nothing like it was during the rule of Sun King Jiran. Avad, our new king, has done all he can to make sure of that. Slavery has been abolished. There's a new alliance with the Oseram. And the Sun Ring, where so many Outlanders were killed, is now a memorial to the fallen.
Ooh, what's this tasty little menu option right here?
It sounds as though you approve of the new Sun King.
He is the chosen of the sun, and what the Sundom needs after 10 years of war. A calming light, not a scouring one. Sun King Jiran would shed blood at any slight. For Sun King Avad, that's a last resort. Lucky for those who slight him. Some whisper in the shadows that he's weak. No. Peace is strength, as the sun shall show.
Yeah, but is he single, though?
So the Carja are allied with the Oseram?
Hard to believe, but it's true. Mad Sun King Jiran raided the Oseram for years. Avad managed to get them on his side. He had help, of course. Ursur and Eren played a part. Oseram siblings, bigger than life. They gathered an army to free Meridian. I marched with them. Scaled the North Cliff with my men and secured the Temple of the Sun. Sent Jiran's kestrels and priests packing. Now Oseram are a common sight in the city. And a common sound, too. They sure bicker a lot.
Alright.
Is there anything more you can tell me about the road to Meridian?
Sun King Avad has devoted considerable resources to making it safe. But by the Sun's witness, it's been harder to control in peace than it was during the war. Machines grow more dangerous all the time. Add to that bandits and new reports of this corruption. We're stretched thin to protect a few outposts like this one. That's for everywhere else. Well, travel at your own risk.
Did an Oseram named Olin come through here?
Twice. He was part of the royal delegation to the Nora, and they passed through on the way, then back. And they brought back stories of a vicious attack on your people. My condolences, of course.
Do you know where Olin is now?
Not exactly, but he was on his way to Meridian, I'm certain of that. Everyone goes to Meridian.
I'm going to Meridian.
What do you need, Captain?
I sent several patrols east when we got word of corrupted machines there. All of them confirmed my fears, so I sealed the gates. But it looks like we left some men behind when they were closed. Waleed, tell them what happened.
Machines attacked us near an abandoned Nora village, sir. Lakir told us to pull back. Then I lost sight of the others.
Never seen a Nora woman before, soldier? Have some respect. Report to her, not to me.
Yeah.
Lakir always stresses reporting back, so that's what I did. I felt terrible about leaving them behind.
Now that the gates are open again, I can send someone after them.
Can't you send more soldiers to find the missing men? What about Waleed here?
Most Nora still don't take well to the sight of Karja armor. Officially, it's a risk to send patrols so close to your sacred land. I'd prefer not to do that again. But heading that way won't be a problem for you.
Please say yes.
What was that, soldier?
Nothing, sir.
You said something happened with Nakoa.
The Nora girl? Yes, something happened. Attempted murder. Prefect Zaid can tell you more about it. You can find him near the main tower, up the steps.
Wait. Zaid is here?
He is.
He just said, please
Look,
say yes.
I've heard what your people say about him, but he swears it's a case of mistaken identity. Now, if there's a shadow to him, I've never been able to prove it, and the forbearance he showed towards this Nakoa woman was impressive. Oh, speak to him. Maybe he knows where she went. And try not to assault him, please.
I'll see what I can do about your missing men.
I would be grateful, but not as grateful as Waleed. You hear that, lunkhead? You might be off the hook.
Waleed. Poor boy. Oh, that's close by. Oh, that's so close by. Look at that.
The machines must have come across Captain Ballon's patrol here.
What's this? Ooh.
One of the Karja soldiers fell here. The other soldiers must have retreated. But to where? Another Karja soldier. At least his death came quickly. Can't be too prepared.
Just a fellow trying to rob me of my shards. Hello. Hello.
I'll find a use for you.
Yeah. God, they hit my friend.
This can't be the helmet from the last Carja soldier. Someone nearly lost his head here, then ran off. Blood everywhere. A machine dragged something into the water here. But maybe he made it to that island.
A fish. I want the fish.
Better watch out for that machine. He doesn't look friendly.
Fuck's sake. Oh, got big boys. Got a whole party of big boys. You really are. Oh no, what? This one, was there another one? Please, I can't go out like this. Crocodiles. Gotta practice my deep breathing. I did it! I did it, boys! I think. God damn. Controller's all sweetie. I'm realizing that I'm gonna need to do better at hunting animals because, no way in hell I'm gonna pay full market price for potions when I can just, you know, occasionally slaughter random forest life. They're expensive everywhere. With my luck, a couple of them are going to be floating over there because they will have died when the snap mob blew up. Yeah, me too. Oh, what's this? No, just crocodile stuff.
Ugh, gonna have to run my boots dry.
Bye. Parents are headed out. Riker Building? Hello, our records show that you've been researching safe, comfortable, affordable apartments in the Salt Lake City area. You should consider the Riker Building. Take a moment to review some of the features we offer our tenants. Totally automated facility monitored by a bleeding-edge robotic security team. Always comfy biometric climate control auto-adjusts the temperature of every room. Complimentary Pharaoh Runner upon signing a lease. Let your runner grab groceries and collect packages while you enjoy the luxury of the Riker lifestyle. Our holosite features a free, fully immersive tour of the facilities, including a customizable mock-up of your future Riker apartment. Visit us today and start living. Interesting, but not
Easy.
a Carja soldier. Oh, what's this?
By the sun, I'm never really done.
What is that?
I brought down all
Singing?
the beasts, but I missed out on the feast. I went to the beer fount too many times to count. I fingered every curl, but I never won the girl. By the sun, I'm never really done. If they close the gate, I am left to my fate. They'll find me lying dead on a freezing grassy bed. I do want to go home, where I never more will roam.
I wasn't expecting to be found, especially not by Nora.
I wasn't expecting to find a half-clad Carjan soldier singing like a drunk.
I apologize for my behavior. I thought I was dead.
Come on. Your commander asked me to bring you back to Daytower.
I refused to be led back to my outpost by Nora, like some prisoner.
Rude?
Fine. Go by yourself.
Wait. Look. I got in a tussle with a snap mob. It ate the half of me that was armor and bow. The thief is still in the water. I can't go back without a weapon. Find my bow, please.
I'll get it. Just don't start singing again.
My God, it's a fish. Nope. I guess I'll go hungry.
Here's your bow. Good luck out there.
Thank you. I didn't want to die in foreign lands like my men. May the sun light their passing.
They're scanning for me.
I got some fish. But I'd really been hoping that the snap maw explosions were going to take down a few more from me. I have found that sometimes if you refresh the stream, it'll help. I knew that wasn't going to do anything, but I wanted to anyway. Just gonna fast travel. Excellent news.
Had to take over my brother's shift today. Sure as the sun's rising, he's off courting that noble girl.
There's a thing. There's a data point. Oh. What's this? The Claim. A guide to the Claim by the well-traveled Aram. Often I fling open the windows of my villa, not only to partake of the scents and sights of the city, but to hear the questions on the streets. Equally often I hear asked aloud, what's to make of these outsiders? These Oseram, who are suddenly our allies or even neighbors. Why do they eat as they do, argue as they do? What is the matter of their heady scent? Why are they always drinking? Like a ray of the sun amidst the darkness, a question is best followed to its source. So, for the benefit of the inquisitive, I contrived to join a trading caravan to the claim, at least as far as the closest village beyond the brick walls. The claim, it is a muted land, where fire smoke hangs heavy in the air among the tall, thin trees, where the ground has not been dug up in the Oseram's ceaseless search for metal. It is cased in frost, and beneath the frost yet more frost, before stony soil. And worse, soot! Everywhere soot, all pervading. Though I had worn my sturdiest travel silks, keeping them unsoiled proved impossible. Noticing my discomfort, some Oseram washerwomen offered their services, but seeing the shade of the water in their tubs, I declined. Indeed, regard for cleanliness is not an Oseram virtue. Despite its protective walls of piled slate and slouched-roof stone huts, the village struck me as overly exposed to the elements, the chief element in the claim being a cold, oily rain and hoarfrost. Even so, the open fire hissed and spat and burned on, and the mood was bustling and lively, as much as you might find in an outbuilding for livestock, for example. What I will endure to bring the light of knowledge to the folk of my tribe. The Oseram have no priest or king, and spit at the mention of such titles, but they defer to the counsel of their wise men, the village aldermen. It seems each settlement elects such men for the purpose of unceasing argument. From dawn until long into the night, they shout over each other on matters of policy and taxation. Come the next morning, a line of villagers will already have formed for the privilege of arguing back. Rad. I joined such a line for several hours, while children squealed, birds squawked, and hammering, accursed, endless hammering, echoed over the trampled straw and rain-filled cart ruts. Finally, I was permitted to face the 3 aldermen and deliver my question. I asked for their opinion on the peace between our tribes and Sun King Avad's offer of welcome in Meridian itself. Readers, I say asked, but the matter was not so simple, as the Oseram erupted into insults and arguments before the words had even finished leaving my lips. I found myself talked over, shouted down, subjected to seemingly unconnected abuse, and it was only when I raised my voice in return, an invigorating experience, that I was grudgingly answered. Their opinions are muddled and mixed, to say the least, and I will not profane this parchment by transcribing the words used to express them. Suffice it to say that they see the benefit of free trade between our tribes, and indeed have flourished from it, after long years of war. However, it seems few Oseram that trade outside the claim return their taxes, or even return at all. The aldermen believe that they are stolen away by a manner of living that is downright karja, a phrase they punctuate by spitting upon the floor. In return, I suggest that their mistrust and fear of a civilized way of life was positively Oseram. I could not bring myself to spit indoors. This caused great commotion, after which I was bodily carried from the building upon the shoulders of my hosts and deposited in the midst of a coming-of-age celebration, not for a man, but for some new manner of device. I awoke on a cart arriving at Pitchcliff. My throat was hoarse, my arms numbed from accepting countless challenges to wrestle, and the taste of an alcohol much like machine oil was still on my tongue. My head ached as if split down the center. Truly, I had risked my life in search of an answer. Is there more to the Oseram character than brawling, drinking, and shouting? Simply put, dear reader, there is not. But let us hope that the alderman's fears will be proven true, and in time the sun's light and Meridian's glory can temper these rough-hewn folk. Dude's a fucking nerd. And a jackass. Wait, where was...
Machines or bandits try to get past me.
Where's these people? Oh. The derangement. The derangement of the machines. Esteemed lords and ladies of the Sun Court, honored Cains and patrons, your concerns regarding the continued derangement of the machines are noted. Though many seasons have passed since the first sightings of this frightful change, the Sun King is well aware that this is no longer a matter of reports from border patrols and Hunter Lodge expeditions. One needs only to look to the abandoned estate lands, indeed the estates you owned, left for the jewel to reclaim, or to the empty freeholds of the common Carja folk. Know that the Sun King has taken every measure to protect Holy Meridian and the Mazelands, with renewed patrol. As for entreating the sun, we believe the cause of the derangement cannot be the sun's displeasure alone, for the years of sacrifice under Sun King Jiran produced no noticeable effect on the machines. His luminance and the sun priests are in agreement that, even if this is an ordeal set for us by the sun, our suffering will not be reduced with blood. For your edification, I will recount what we have observed of the derangement. Of the simpler machines, the herd creatures, the gallopers, the scuttlers, where once they fled at the sight of a man, now they are more likely to charge. The larger creatures, once only a menace to the inebriated and foolhardy, can be seen to lunge at the unwary with murderous intent. This is to say nothing of the coming of the Sawtooth or its metal brethren, the Ravager, the Stalker, or that terrible giant, the Thunderjaw. Each one has proved a more capable killer of men than the last, each wielding a wider array of strange weapons. The wilds are no longer safe due to the hostility of these new machines, though to date they have not attacked a settlement within the Sundom. Outlanders have brought no shortage of fanciful explanations for this behavior. Some suggest that the machines have come to resent men for hunting them, yet such a thing has never been witnessed among beasts of flesh and blood, and they are proven to be more capable of thinking and of memory. Carja hunters and Oseram tinkers alike have attempted to understand the phenomenon by inspecting felled machines, but these appear no different to those harvested many years before their derangement began, with the same assortment of wires, braiding, lenses, hearts, and so on. When these parts are subjected to the light of the sun or to Oseram experiments with fire and spark, they react as they always have. The Banuk, however, claim to have recorded a change in the machine songs of the machine spirits, suggesting that these have become increasingly discordant. The Sun King has sent envoys to Banur to learn more, in the hopes that their mysticism might contain a truth when the rational light of the sun is brought to bear upon it. Of course, the Sun King graciously welcomes your own contributions to study of the derangement, asking only that they are delivered in written form and not during royal audience. His Luminance also hopes to dissuade you from participating in machine hunts during these uncertain times. The strength of a united Sun Court is the strength of all Carja. Respectful Tashadi, Court Envoy. Yeah, he's like, please just write me a letter. Please write me a letter. Don't show up. I don't need you to show up. Just a letter.
Sun King Avad freed the people his father enslaved.
I'm trying to
We all have our place in the order of things.
remember where what's-his-face was. Oh,
Wash the floor, hang the laundry. We'll be working all day.
there's that guy.
You're Zaid.
And you're Anora. I can tell from your tone you've heard of me. Let me ease your mind. There seem to be wild stories about me among your tribe. But the Nora have me mistaken for someone else. I'm not sure where the fault lies, but the fog of war often breeds confusion. Unfortunately, some refuse to acknowledge the error. So it was with the last Nora who came through here.
The last Nora who came through here. You mean Nakoa?
Is that her name? Oh, well. It was a very unfortunate situation. She attacked me in broad daylight.
If one of my men hadn't spotted her, I might well have been injured. But we were able to subdue her without harm.
What did you do with her?
I let her go, of course. It was clear she thought I was responsible for unspeakable things. So, in a sense, her actions were justifiable. I explained that she was wrong, then sent her on her way. Sadly, I don't think she believed me.
So you deny participating in the Red Raids?
No, I didn't say that. I did have a role in those operations, albeit a very limited one. But all this nonsense about torture and murder, that wasn't me. They have me confused with some other commander. I don't doubt some of my comrades did bad things, but Sun King Avad has worked hard to eliminate such brutality.
Where is Nakoa now?
I don't know exactly. She left raving that she would find a way to bring me down. But I did hear a report from the garrison at Lonesome Rock that a young woman had been abducted by bandits. Might have been her.
Bandits, you say?
You've really gone out of your way to help, Prefect Said.
It's no trouble. The Sun King wishes to make amends with your people, and I am his humble servant.
I'll go to Lonesome Rock and get to the bottom of this. I promise you that.
You do that. And if our men are anything less than helpful, please let me know.
We'll let you know, all right. Whew, that's way out there. Whew.
Can't trust him, not after what Jan told me. That garrison is my only lead.
God. Well, it's not actually any shorter a distance from here to Meridian, so let's go to Lonesome Rock.
The world beyond the sacred land. I need to find Olin and learn everything he knows. Who the killers were, how they saw me through his focus, who the woman is, one who looks like me, why they want me dead. Olin's trail
It's
leads
sort
to
of on the
Meridian.
way.
When I catch him, he will talk. And he will pay for all the lives he's ruined. Felt the snow coming?
That's such a good feeling, dude. I'm excited for you. Oh, it's raining down here. Makes sense. Well, and we're going downhill. Decrease in elevation. All of that.
I'll tuck that away.
Big boys.
Spotted.
Oh no. There's buffalo and Boyds out here. You can't see me. Yeah, some guard came running over and then immediately started getting stepped on by the buffalo. We got him. Honestly, the hitboxes have just become so narrow, it's driving me crazy because it's like, my arrows are actually going through the gaps in their armor. And it's like, well, yeah, okay, that makes sense, but it's also like, fuck you! I just have to be more precise. I do gotta get good. You are absolutely correct. All right. Fucking God. Why am I so bad at this? Ugh. Come here, you.
Oh, my focus is receiving another signal.
This one must be from space, where they're telling me to stop sending my arrows. Girl, stop trying to shoot our satellites, because if you're trying to shoot anything but our satellites, you're really bad at this. Have you considered needlepoint?
Let's get this over with.
What's this is?
I don't care what other tribes do, but I'll just mind my own. pass up these goods. You'll regret not stopping when you're in the thick of it. Find goods for a fair price. Take a look at these wares.
Oh, that's nice. Glad I stopped for a bit.
I've got all the best goods here.
Oseram and Banuk and Karja? What do these have in the little jam stash?
Don't forget to stock up before you're on the road.
He doesn't let up. Well, neither do I.
What's this? A book. The Old Ones. Any Karja devout knows that the truth of the Old Ones is laid out plainly in Articles of the Sun Faith. A twilight time came upon them, as is the cycle of things, followed by a long night, and finally our ancestors' birth in the new dawn. Since that dawn, Karja history has been writ in the path of the sun, not the faded glories of those who came long before us. Even the leaves of the Old Ones found by Ahriman are long since cracked and fallen to dust. Nevertheless, collected here for study are the colorful beliefs of the Old Ones held by other tribes, which may offer a small insight into those tribes' primitive views of the world. The Oseram, as might be expected, viewed the working of the world as a device, one where all things behave according to mechanical rigidity and not the sun's divine rhythms. The movement of the tribes by the seasons, even the stars at night, all are accounted for by this interlocking and complicated mechanism. The Old Ones were the caretakers of this great machine, but they neglected their duty to maintain it. The world machine thus fell into disrepair, and the civilization of the Old Ones collapsed with us. Now the Oseram used their myth to berate the other tribes as negligent, and to hammer upon their own importance. How convenient that their tinkers and metal workers alone might learn this mechanism's secrets, and improve upon it with their ingenuity. An even more fanciful tale of censure comes from the Nora barbarians. They believe that the Old Ones turned away from the teaching of the Nora's female god, the All-Mother, and eloped with the machines to build their mighty cities. Having failed to tempt the Nora to join them, the machines rallied under a great metal devil and attacked the All-Mother. In her vengeance, she stripped the machines of their wisdom, reducing them to the simple metal beasts we see today. Without the assistance of the machine, the Old Ones were left to wander as exiles, never permitted to return to the isolation of the Nora and their strange feminine rites. From the survivors of this so-called punishment grew the other tribes, and this is why the Nora show distrust to all outside their borders, for we are descended from the faithless and do not shun the trappings of the ancient world. Surprisingly, it is the Banuk whose belief is most similar to our own, though their mythology is bizarre in many other ways. They believe the Old Ones grew complacent, thinking there was no challenge they could not overcome, and in their pride were undone. Hence the Banuk give themselves no more attention than any other tribe defeated by the harshness of the Banuk land. In fact, many Banuk hunters point to the absence of ruins in Ban-Ur as a sign that the Old Ones were never strong enough to endure its challenges. They claim that only the machines and the Banuk have ever roamed there, and so they have nothing to learn from the ancients. The distant Utaru, however, believe that the Old Ones are still with them at all times. In Utaru ritual, those who die are returned to the soil, nourishing the land and living on through new growth. As long as the dead are remembered, they will contribute to the harvest and make them bountiful. Utaru see the richness of their territory, Plainsong, as evidence of this unique and disturbing cycle. Finally, as there are few living scholars of the Tanakh, we are regrettably denied any insight from that tribe. From what it is known, though, it seems they have little concept of a wider history at all. But, of course, that is what elevates a scholar on Meridian from a bloodthirsty raider, to be aware of all the sun's light touches, however strange and unlikely the tales. I think it's kind of hilarious that he's like, ooh, we're better than bloodthirsty raiders, when, like, there was no tribe more guilty of bloodthirsty raids than the Carja. Stupid, sexy Carja. Ooh, sandstorm.
Only the finest goods here. See for yourself.
Yeah. I'm really picking up what they're putting down, if you get what I'm saying. Ah, there's Longleg. Ready or not. Big bird. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna pause the stream here and then restart it because an hour and a half is a great upload time for YouTube.